Well, we might be in a global economic crisis, but environmental issues are never far from the top of the political agenda. And it matters what consumers think of our industry's performance. So MLA's got a new campaign to show the public that for red meat producers, every day is Environment Day. Tim Dawson brings this report.
Green, healthy pasture. It's what every grazier likes to see, but keeping stock fed and turning a profit, all while maintaining the long-term health of the land, is a delicate balance for every livestock producer, especially in low rainfall years. Sam Archer is a prime example of how producers look after their land, and he's now featuring in a new MLA community campaign. Sam's managed to improve his productivity by restoring the landscape of his property at Gundagai in southern New South Wales. He began by matching his land use much more closely to his land types.
Typically the paddocks on this property were 300 to 400 acres in size, and what we've done is we've fenced them according to land class or topography, which then enables us to maximise our production.
He's also invested in planting native trees along the gullies and reintroducing native perennial pasture varieties.
And that's what we're aspiring to have across all of our grazing land is red grass, wallaby grass and microlina, which are highly productive, high digestibility, high protein levels, and they're well adapted to this landscape. So they tolerate drought, they tolerate acidic soil, saline soil, all the things that we've got here. So we're actually working with nature rather than against nature.
2 research projects with the Australian National University and CSIRO have monitored the real environmental gains that he's made in improving soil quality, water retention and biodiversity. Here at Kincora, the Archers are doing what they call walking the talk. They're taking positive steps to reduce their environmental footprint. But they're not alone. The commitment to producing red meat in a more sustainable way is industry-wide. There are thousands of trials and schemes across the country aimed at protecting and enhancing the natural environment. And MLA just wants to make sure that everyone knows that. MLA has chosen real-life producers like Sam to front the campaign.
The industry has a fantastic story to tell. There are many producers around Australia that are doing a fantastic job on improving the management of their environment.
Under the slogan, Our Environment, Our Commitment, MLA is orchestrating a range of activities to plant this idea firmly in the minds of urban Australians. This year it has included a series of ads in metro newspapers, the most recent on World Environment Day.
We're just trying to get the everyday person to just understand, trust and have confidence in the integrity of Australian red meat producers.
Sustainability isn't a new concept for the red meat industry. Faced with ongoing drought conditions, producers are adapting their practices. Take New South Wales Farmer of the Year Nigel Kerrin, another face fronting the campaign. 7 years ago, fed up with struggling to remain profitable, he turned his business and the traditional approach his father had taught him on its head.
Basically stopped managing animals and started managing grass, because grass is the fuel that drives animals' production.
He reduced his breeding animals by nearly half and introduced an intensive cell grazing system using perennial native pasture varieties at his 6 properties, all while maintaining per hectare productivity. Now he's convinced that profit and healthy environment go hand in hand.
It's virtually impossible to achieve monetary wealth until you first achieve environmental wealth. And environmental wealth for us is as simple as keeping your country covered all the time, no matter how dry it gets. We never ever forego that ground cover now. We'd rather de-stock and match stocking rate to carrying capacity.
Part of Nigel's success has been his involvement with the Little River Landcare Group. Formed 12 years ago, the 260,000 hectares and 300 farms in this catchment were contributing up to 9% of the salt loading of the Macquarie River. 60% of the land was highly acidic. Turning that around meant the whole community working together. At this saline site, the group is paying for fencing and replanting and providing specialist equipment.
Once the pasture gets up and it grows and it's managed correctly and grazed properly, that there'll be very little salt actually leave this site and go into the main river system. But the important key here is too, the land manager on this site is changing his practices.
Little River puts as much effort into education as it does into regeneration, providing practical advice at grassroots level. They work on the premise that those that live on the land are the best ones to care for it and the most committed.
There is a genuine effort being made by the people in agriculture and being responsible for what it is they're doing to their environment, and they want to be responsible for it.
And that's what the campaign aims to get across.
The image I want to see portrayed between Australian red meat producers and the customer is just to have a good news story from paddock to plate.
I think we've got a great story to tell, and we should be rightfully proud about the work that we're doing.